Yo, what's good NFL fans? Welcome back to Touchdown Kingdom, the hub of all the latest NFL news and content. In this video, I want to jump into OddsJam.com and go over all the best sportsbook where you guys should put your money if you are into sports betting for these Sunday games. There's so many games to dissect, as you guys saw my video yesterday predicting who I think is going to win and all the score predictions, but in this one, it's all about sports betting, so if you're into that type of stuff, you guys are definitely going to enjoy this video. I'm just starting to get into sports betting on Touchdown Kingdom, so if you guys are interested to see more content like this, please feel free to comment down below that you want to see more content because I'm really into this type of stuff. I never really made content about sports books, but OddsJam has so many unique things you can do on their website, so I'm super excited to jump into the video. If you guys are new to Touchdown Kingdom, make sure you smash that subscribe button, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to thumbs it up. With that being said, let's hop right into the video. So the first game I want to get into is the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Miami Dolphins, and yes, this is the other game in London. Last week we had the Jets versus the Falcons. This time we have the Jaguars versus the Dolphins. So first, let's get into the money line. So as you guys can see, the Jacksonville Jaguars are the clear underdogs simply because they are 0-5 and they're still trying to get their first victory of the season. Urban Meyer, we all know what happened with him a couple weeks ago. He's still trying to win back that locker room and get the trust with his guys. Trevor Lawrence still trying to get his first victory of his NFL career. For the Miami Dolphins sake of things, Tua Tagovailoa could be back, so this is going to be a really interesting game over in London. I do like the Jaguars though for the money line, plus 145. I feel like they're going to really try to get their first victory of the season. I don't see Trevor Lawrence going to 0-6, even though he's been struggling almightily. But if you want to talk about the Dolphins real quick and the matchup wise, the Dolphins defense has been struggling. They gave up 45 points to the Buccaneers. The defense has not been what we're used to with the Miami Dolphins. But the big X factor is, what is Tua Tagovailoa going to do? Because apparently he'll be returning in this game after being sidelined for a couple of weeks. So I don't know if you guys have trust in Trevor Lawrence across the pond. Maybe I would consider the money line, but I would stay away from it just because it's a little too risky. If you're going to do something, I would recommend doing the spread. Let's see what's going on with the spread in this game. If you go down to the main line over on OddsJam, you see that they have the Jaguars +3 or the Dolphins -3. So I don't know, man. I do like the Jaguars +3. I feel like they're going to make a game out of this. I just feel like that this is the game where Trevor Lawrence really breaks out on prime time, Sunday morning football, as you will. But it's not going to be guaranteed. This is a really tough game to really put money on because over across in London, you never know what the hell is going to happen. So let's get into some fun stuff in this game. Let's go to the player rushing touchdowns. I always love going into this one. So they have Trevor Lawrence over 0.5 touchdowns plus 253. So basically that just means Trevor Lawrence needs to get one rushing touchdown. If you guys have been watching the Jaguars offense, they do like getting Trevor Lawrence the ball in terms of on the ground in the red zone. I feel like they try to utilize his mobility, try to utilize his athleticism. So I do feel like Trevor Lawrence is going to get a touchdown in this game on the ground. I would consider this plus 253. The odds are definitely in your favorite. You got OddsJam and then the best sports book in the world and Pinnacle, definitely one of my favorites. So I definitely consider that over on this game. So those are the only three concepts I want to talk about with the Jaguars and Dolphins game. The next game I want to talk about is the Rams versus the Giants. So if you go into OddsJam, you see they have every single game that you possibly can ask for in terms of where you want to place your money. This is definitely my favorite website when it comes to checking out, okay, where do I want to put my money? Which sports book has the best odds that goes towards my favor? So where's the Giants and Rams game? Here we go. Now this is going to be heavy Rams favorites, obviously, because the Giants, they're banged up with injuries. Daniel Jones, concussion. Saquon Barkley out for a couple of weeks. Kenny Galladay's doubtful. You know, the entire Giants roster is really decimated with injuries, and the Rams are the clear favorites in this one. So that's why I feel like this is a no-brainer if you do want to place money on the Rams money line wise. But, you know, minus 420, definitely not a line that you would want to put money on just because you have to spend a lot of money in order to make a lot of money. But I feel like this is the lock of the week. Maybe if you guys are in a survival pool, even consider taking the Rams in this one. And even if you look at the spread, it's pretty ridiculous. If you go to the main line, they have the Rams -10, the Giants +10. So I don't know. Rams -10, I feel like it's guaranteed the Rams are going to win this game by more than 10 points, but you never know what's going to happen. Mike Glennon can really have a good game. Over 2.5 touchdowns with a plus 165. So obviously, in order for this bet to hit, Matthew Stafford needs to have 3 passing touchdowns, and that's not easy. Obviously, Matthew Stafford, he does like to stay on the ground. Darrell Henderson gets in the end zone a bunch of times. So I don't know if this is a bet that you guys consider, unless Matt Stafford really feels like he wants to open up the playbook, let his arm loose. You got plus 165 on points bet. If you do want to put this bet down, if you think Stafford's going to have a big day in terms of passing. Now, one of my favorite matchups of the weekend is definitely going to be the next one we're going to get into, and that's the Cleveland Browns versus the Arizona Cardinals. This is a really interesting game in terms of the spread. So the Cardinals, they are the only undefeated team remaining in the NFL at 5-0. And they're the underdogs in this. They have the Cardinals at plus 160 on Barstool, also plus 160 on Bet Online, and plus 160 on UDibet and all these sports books. So you could tell, for whatever reason, Vegas likes the Browns in this game, even though the Browns, they are obviously not 5-0 like the Cardinals. So if you guys believe in Kyler Murray and you think that they are that legit and 5-0 is no fluke, I would definitely consider taking the Cardinals money line in this one, because the odds are 100% in your favor. And if you look at the point spread, that's going to be pretty close. Yeah, you got the Cardinals plus 3, Browns minus 3. If you guys like the Cardinals, maybe take them plus 3 in this one at plus 110 over on BetMGM. And all these different sports books. So this is probably going to be the most interesting game of the weekend, outside of this next game that I want to get into after this. But let's get into some player prop bets. I want to get into the player rushing touchdowns. So they have James Conner over half a touchdown, was essentially just getting in the end zone once on the ground at plus 214 on OddsJam and Pinnacle. I feel like this is a no-brainer. James Conner's been definitely the number one back in terms of red zone. I feel like whenever they're at the goal line, Chase Edmonds never gets the ball. It's always James Conner. Trust me, I would know that because I have Chase Edmonds in fantasy and it drives me crazy. So I like these odds, plus 214 on Pinnacle and OddsJam. If you do believe that James Conner is going to get in the end zone on the ground once, definitely consider ripping that. And then the really interesting one is over here. If you go to player touchdowns, look at these crazy odds you got over here. So the one that really popped out of me the most was this one. Any Browns defensive player or any Cardinals defensive player getting a touchdown. So obviously this means, say you take the Browns getting a touchdown on the defense, they need a pick 6, or they need a fumble 6, or anything along those lines. I just like this because it's plus 600, plus 800, and the reason is because it's very unlikely to get a defensive touchdown. It's very uncommon in the NFL, which is why the odds are so much in your favor. But hey, you can put like literally $50 down and you can get a really big payout. Like, you don't even need to put a lot of money down if you really want to risk some money to get this this bet, because I feel like you never know what could happen. At the end of the day, look at all these odds. I mean, you got all these random receivers that never really get the ball. No touchdown. You get plus 10,000. That's pretty funny. So this is why I love OddsJam, because they just give you every single opportunity to look at every sports book across the country, and it gives you a good idea of where you should place your money or not. And the last game I want to get into in this video is the Chargers versus the Ravens. This is another game that every single NFL fan is really excited about, as well as the Ravens. This is going to be one of the best games of the weekend. I can't tell you with a straight face that I know who's going to win this game, and I know you guys agree with me. This is going to be really close. Lamar Jackson is playing like an MVP. Justin Herbert is playing like an MVP. I would stay away from this game in terms of the money line, because it just can go either way. If you do want to take the Chargers, plus 125. Oh, wait, the Ravens are the favorites. I didn't realize that. My apologies. So the Ravens are the favorites in this one. So if you do like the Chargers, I don't know, plus 125 on the money line. Let's see what the spread looks like over on OddsJam. If you go down to the main line, yeah, it's really tight, guys. Chargers plus 3, Ravens minus 3. Ooh-wee, that's tight. That's tight. So let's get into some fun stuff. Player touchdowns. Yeah, you can see the same thing just like on the other game. There's so many fun odds that you can, if you really want to put some money down and you feel like someone's going to get a touchdown, let me know, because there's always that random guy every single week, every single game that gets those, crazy touchdowns that nobody ever expects. And then the last thing I want to talk about is player touchdown reception. So Austin Ekeler just getting one passing touchdown, or receiving touchdown rather, plus 248. This is really good because Austin Ekeler is definitely, I feel like, the entire offense for the Chargers in terms of the passing game and the run game. You see Ekeler getting in the end zone a ton with Justin Herbert throwing him the ball. So I do like these odds, plus 248 for Austin Ekeler just to get in the end zone in terms of the passing game. So I'll definitely consider that, plus 248 on Pinnacle and plus 248 on OddsJam. OddsJam also has paid features like arbitrage to make risk-free money sports betting, which is basically like day trading sports, and a positive EV tool that highlights big line discrepancies to show sports bettors' value. Thank you guys so much for staying to the end of this video. If you guys want to see more videos of me diving into OddsJam and really just talk about the sports book and where I would put my money, let me know down below in the comment section and like the video if you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.